Japan's ruling party is electing a new leader after Naoto Kan resigned as the leader of the Democratic Party and as Prime Minister. These are live pictures coming in from Tokyo. 5 main candidates voting going on there right now. It'll be the 6th Prime Minister in 5 years. Let's cross to Steve Chao, who's in Tokyo. Steve, it's going to be a while longer before we know who is going to be the next Prime Minister. Just take us through what's happening now and the main contenders.
Well, that's right. The speeches are finished. So the campaigning over the weekend is done. And now the question is, who out of 5 candidates managed to get the most votes? And as you mentioned, the voting is continuing right now, live as we speak. So far, from what we can tell, Banri Kaida, the trade minister, appears to have the most votes so far. He needs a majority, more than 200 out of 400 lawmakers, to become the leader of the ruling DPJ party. The question is, will any of these 5 candidates be able to overcome the hurdles that Naoto Kan could not overcome? Specifically, can he show the public that he is able to make the tough decisions needed to help this country get out of the economic malaise, the stagnation that has existed for 2 decades, but more importantly, to help this country come out of this crippling nuclear disaster that has gripped this country for the past 6 months? These are insurmountable challenges, according to a lot of political experts, even for the best leaders. And unfortunately, among the pick of 5, all political experts we've spoken to here in Japan say that they are untested, have shown very little in terms of their abilities to lead, so they're virtually unknowns to the public. The person in the lead here is Seiji Maehara when it comes to public opinion polls. About 40% of the public believe that he could be the best leader. He has roughly around 40% of the public vote, according to some polls. However, he does not have the backing of the biggest backroom insider that is the kingmaker, Ichiro Ozawa. That goes to Banri Kaida, and Banri Kaida seems to be in the lead. I know these are a lot of names that are unknowns to most of the people in the world, and to be honest, they're unknowns to most of the people here in Japan. It looks like at this point...
Are the public emotionally invested in this vote? Because all the signs are that they're getting increasingly frustrated with the ruling party and with the seemingly endless procession of prime ministers they've had to deal with.
Well, that's right. There's a great deal of disenchantment here. You know, the DPJ came into power in 2009 with an overwhelming majority, unseating a party that ran for 50 years, mainly because the DPJ said it would get rid of this idea of the backroom dealing that has been characteristic of the Japanese politics here. However, what we've seen is 2 years of infighting. We've seen 2 different leaders from the DPJ, and now we're looking at a 3rd, and many people think that after this round of elections is done, they're going to go through this once again within the next 12 months. So a great deal of disenchantment and a belief that the government cannot get it together to overcome the major hurdles facing this country.
OK, so a few more minutes yet, I guess, until we know who's going to be the next Prime Minister. And we will talk to you a little later on about that. But for the moment, Steve, thanks very much indeed. Steve Chao in Tokyo, where the ruling party in Japan is currently choosing the next leader and Prime Minister